invention of vaccines is one of the biggest game changers in human and animal medicine. Vaccination is one of the best ways to deal with diseases. That is in humans and also in animals. In poultry farming, vaccination is the #1 prevention measure to all non-treatable infection, especially viral diseases. But what if the vaccine fails? What if your chickens still die even after vaccination? Does it mean that the vaccine is fake? Does it mean that the disease pathogens overpowered the vaccine? Today, I've come to clear all these doubts. In today's video, I will discuss with you the causes of vaccine failure and how to prevent this vaccine failure so as to avoid losses in our poultry farming. There are 3 categories of factors causing vaccine failure. #1 is vaccine factors. #2 is host factors, that is the factors associated with the birds. And 3 finally is the factors associated with the administration of the vaccine. Let us start with the vaccine factors. #1, inactivation of vaccines. The vaccine efficiency is determined by the viability of the agents that are in the vaccine and their ability to replicate in the birds upon administration. Inactivation can be caused by 3 major things. #1 is poor storage of the vaccine. This will lead to death of the agents that are inside the vaccine. #2 is using the vaccine past the expiration date. And #3 is mixing the vaccine with other residues. For example, the syringes and needles that are used to administer the vaccine have residues of other drugs. These drugs will interact with the vaccine, therefore decreasing its efficiency. #2, another factor that is associated with the vaccine that can cause a vaccine failure is antigenic difference between the existing vaccine and the strain that is in the field, or the field strain. This happens when the vaccine in the market cannot be able to deal with the targeted bacteria or virus. This is because the virus or the bacteria has already undergone mutation. This happens when the bacteria or the virus changes its form, therefore making the vaccine inefficient. Hence, this will lead to vaccine failure. Let us now discuss about the factors associated with the birds that can lead to vaccine failure. And that #1 is the stress factors. Stress in chickens occurs as a way of their body trying to respond to excessive changes in environment. Chickens lack enough resources to respond to changes or severe changes of environment as compared to other farm animals. Stress is a whole topic on its own. If you want me to discuss about it, make sure that you leave a comment in the comment section below. Generally, the causes of stress in chickens include poor ventilation, cold, heat, excessive humidity, transportation, high stocking density, etc. This stress lowers the ability of the immune system to respond to the vaccine, and this will lead to low production of antibodies, therefore causing vaccine failure. #2 is interference with maternal antibody or maternal immunity. Chickens vaccinated for various diseases may pass on that immunity to their chicks through the eggs. Now, when the chicks are vaccinated, there is usually an interaction between the antibodies from the parents and the antigens in the vaccine, and this will cause a neutralization effect, therefore causing vaccine failure. The #3 factor and factors that are associated with the birds that can cause vaccine failure is the presence of underlying disease. The birds undergo deterioration. This is because the immune system is very weak and is unable to respond properly to the vaccine, and this will cause vaccine failure. Now let's discuss about the factors associated with administration of vaccine that can cause vaccine failure. #1 is lack of proper storage of vaccine. If the vaccine is poorly stored, this means that the agents that are inside of that vaccine will die, and this will render the vaccine ineffective or inefficient. And this, if you administer now this vaccine to your chickens, this will of course cause a vaccine failure. #2 is inappropriate route of administration. The routes of a vaccine administration in poultry include oral oral route, the subcutaneous route, intramuscular route, the wing web, through drinking water, through eye drops and sprays. For example, if the manufacturer have advised that you should administer the vaccine subcutaneously, and now you administer it through drinking water, this will of course lead to vaccine inefficiency, which will cause a vaccine failure. The third factor associated with the administration of vaccine that can cause vaccine failure is insufficient dosage. You should always read the manufacturer's advice or the manufacturer's information so that you may know the accurate dosage to give to your chickens, because if you underdose the vaccine, this will automatically cause vaccine failure. Number 4 is improper formulation of vaccine before administration to the chickens. You should also always follow the manufacturer's procedures. For example, if the manufacturer have advised that you should mix 1 liter with 20 ml of the vaccine, you should do so, because if you don't formulate your vaccine properly, this will lead to vaccine failure. Number 5 is that you should avoid use of expired vaccines. You should be very keen when buying the vaccine. Also, you should be very keen if you had bought the vaccine and you had stored it in the farm, because you may find that the vaccine have already passed the expiration date, and when you inject it or use it in your chickens, it will cause no effect. Number 6 is you should control stress and use antimicrobials and antifungals. This controlling of stress and using these antimicrobials and antifungals will help increase the efficiency of the vaccine by not interfering with the immunity as it tries to fight against that disease. Number 7 is that you should give your birds vitamins and minerals. This is because vitamins and minerals always help to support the immune system. Number 8, you should use a verified and effective vaccination schedule. Unverified or ineffective vaccination schedule will lead to vaccine failure due to poor timing. For example, the Marex vaccine should be administered at the hatchery or in the first day after you bring the chicks into your home or into the farm. If you fail to administer that vaccine at that point and you inject it, for example, after 3 days or 4 days or 1 week, that vaccine will be ineffective towards fighting the Marex disease. Number 9 is that you should employ strict biosecurity measures. These biosecurity measures will also prevent transmission of diseases. Number 10 is that you should strictly follow manufacturers' guidelines. You have noticed that throughout this video, I have been talking about manufacturers' guidelines. They are very important and you should follow them as stipulated in the manual, which is usually in the packet or the sticker that is labeled on the vaccine packaging. And if you do this, then you will avoid vaccine failure in your chickens and you will be able to keep away diseases from your farm. Make sure that you click the video on your screen right now so that you can be able to know how the stinging nettle powder can be used in your layers to boost egg production.